Good morning. My name is John with the Pine Tree, and I have the great pleasure of being here with John Morse. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for letting us stop by your office here and chat for a few minutes.
Thank you for coming.
Now, this is another one of our little candidates chats, and I think one of the things is off the top we'd like to say thank you for running, because I think it takes an enormous commitment for anybody to jump into the public arena, and it's sometimes politics can be a little bit of a blood sport, so. At times. Well, maybe not on a local level as much, but
it's become very interesting. It's not something that I was not aware of all of the things that come with it.
Right.
And
right.
I'm enjoying it.
Good.
I mean,
good.
You know, I get to meet people like you.
Well, I don't know if that's considered a plus, but well, for people who haven't. Who don't know you, how about a little about who, what, when, where, and why? Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I was born at the Stork's Nest in Angels Camp, and I grew up in Sheep Ranch. I graduated from Calaveras High. I was in the Air Force for 4 years, and when I got out of the Air Force, I went to Cal Poly and got a Bachelor of Science in Food Science.
Uh-huh. Now that's actually a pretty tough, isn't that a pretty tough degree? I mean, Cal Poly's pretty tough. That's a pretty tough degree to get, or no? Is it? Well, I'm saying because I had a personal friend that took him like 6 years to trying to get through Cal Poly, and he never quite made it.
I did. I graduated in '76, and it took me 4 years to do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's standard.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hard because I'm interested in food.
Right.
And I want to know what's going on with it. So
right.
I learned, and then I learned that I had to have a job.
Right.
The money was in the valley.
Mm-hmm.
So I interviewed and I got a job with Conadina Foods in Riverbank. So I was in the valley then for the next 24 years.
Now that's the plant for people who are. Now is that the same plant if you're going through Riverbank? That's there kind of on the turn
on the turn.
This
right.
Changed owners a couple times
it's
since.
Changed. Oh yeah, it closed. It was closing as I was leaving. I was leaving there because it was closing.
Right.
And
right.
And I worked at a couple other places and then bought a business, ran the business, making a profit for 6 years, and then I decided I wanted to move back to Sheep Ranch. And so I moved back to Sheep Ranch in 1999, and then I was visiting friends and told Gary I was looking for a job, and he said, well, why don't you work here for a while and help us out? And that was 8 years ago, a little over 8 years ago. So
very nice.
I learned to be so that's where I learned to be a machinist, sort of by accident.
But I mean, in the cannery experience, you've been kind of cozying up to big burly machines most of your
yeah, I had learned a lot about machines and machinery and all those mechanical things, so I knew what's what.
Yeah. Now, as a little aside, you guys focus on, what is it, mining? Specifically, a lot of stuff here. I mean, what is it? Well, I guess we don't want to maybe kind of going off topic here, but what do you got? It's kind of interesting.
We make driller stuff.
Okay, got it. So for like
well drilling, oil well drilling, water well drilling, and mining.
Okay.
Drilling and blasting.
Wow. Big, bulky stuff.
Big, heavy stuff. It's either hot or heavy or it'll cut you or burn you.
Now, a little bit on Sheep Ranch. Now, when you grew up there was still a real town, wasn't it? Or was it on?
It was.
Not that it isn't now.
It was becoming smaller when I was. I think I was in about the 3rd grade. There were about 20 children in the school, and then by the time when I graduated, there were 6 of us in the school. When I graduated, they closed the school.
That was it. They couldn't handle it anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't need to go any further with that. And there was a grocery store there until '56.
Okay.
So the store closed in '56. The school closed in '60. It was the post office then closed in 2006.
Yeah, the post office made it a while longer.
A little longer, 40 years.
Well, I guess let's get us back to our supervisor race here. What would you like to bring to the table? What would you like to see happen?
One of the things that I would like to see happen is in building and planning. I know that in both Tuolumne County and Amador County, it takes 1/4 the time to get a permit that it does in our county, and I don't know if they're doing it on a computer or if they just don't shuffle papers the way we do.
Right.
But there's something that's different, and I don't know why we can't go visit those places and copy them. We don't have to figure out how to do it.
Right.
Because somebody else is already doing it.
Right.
So just copy them.
So you think you mean just efficiencies? I mean
departmental efficiencies. I've heard of stories of, just last week I was talking to a property appraiser that was saying that he was looking for a permit on a guest house, and some phone calls were made, and he was told that there was no permit for the guest house. Well, that made a big difference to the sale of the property, and well, the sale failed. And then when going back to, he wound up going to the building department, and they did a little research and found the permit for the guest house. So there's some kind of communication thing going on where for some reason people aren't looking for the right stuff when they're asked questions about what's permitted.
So he actually, in his sale, he actually got less of a selling price because in essence the guest house showed as not being permitted or whatever.
He lost over $200,000 because of that little mistake.
Wow.
Yeah. Learning.
Now,
that's not the only thing.
Right.
But you know, that'd be my one thing that I'd like to do. I know there's all kinds of other things that need to be addressed.
Right.
Things in public works. Public works is so important. Without good roads.
Yeah. Is that coming from a sheep ranch perspective? Because sometimes those roads out there, they're high on the county's list at times. Huh? Just kidding.
The sheep ranch road isn't a bad road, but there are some roads in this area. The road between Sheep Ranch and Murphy's, that's a real bumpy road.
Now the locals probably like it that way, right? Keep the speeds down and the people out of the...
Well, I don't know. I think that a road should be at least smooth enough that if you take a drink from your traveling drinking mug, you don't spill it.
Got it.
There are some roads you can't do that on.
Even with a sippy cup, huh?
Yep.
In addition to departmental efficiencies, what are some other things that you, from observing the county government and stuff, that you'd like to change or work on, or I think more of some of your focus?
Well, I think the whole government center should recognize that they work for the public, that their salaries are paid by the taxes that are collected from the public, and that they're there to serve the public. And when someone comes into an office looking for something, they should be greeted friendly, and helped as much as possible. I feel like the government is there to help us do the things that we need to do, not to stop us from doing whatever.
Now, I guess kind of on that same vein, I know there's been a lot of talk the last couple months on economic development and bringing more, I guess, vitality to the local economy. Because I think it seems like there's been a lot of discussion to where if there's a dip in the real estate market like we have now, that it impacts our county more than some of them because we have less of a diverse economic base. What do you see as some of the challenges and stuff that you could, that were to impact that type of, what should we be looking for as a long-term economic stuff for the county?
Well, the economic development is an absolute must for our county. And I see it as that the government and the Board of Supervisors can help bring businesses here, with, like using enterprise zones, removing roadblocks, maybe reducing fees or giving some kind of break, maybe on taxes or whatever, some breaks to encourage business to be here. Our county is so small, less than 50,000 people, that large things, say like Walmart, isn't even, I bet Walmart's already looked and said, look, we've got stores in Tuolumne County, we got many stores in the Valley, and we have a store in Amador County. If we put one in Calaveras County, it would do poorly, and the other two would do, or others would do poorly also. So they're not gonna, but maybe Target.
But I mean, in some ways, that big box, it's a nice political thing, but maybe it's not even really a store, because I mean, if you look at even some of like the Home Depots and stuff that are starting to close some of their stores in the areas, I mean, we're probably not a target for those.
I think you're right. I think there has to be smaller businesses that have to want to be here. Because we have some kind of an advantage. And one disadvantage is our lack of population. But that's why we like it here.
That's why we like it. Well, I mean, we've always been preaching. We think we're a good spot for some of the smaller, higher tech firms that, you know, don't need a lot of infrastructure. They just need broadband, and that, you know, they don't have a lot of hard assets. But that's just our perspective, since we kind of do a techie thing. So. Let's see. What else should people know about you and your candidacy?
Well, there's been a lot of questions about, is Polly Sender my sister? Yes, she is. Polly Sender is my sister. We removed all that doubt. Calvin Morse, the guy that's in refrigeration, is my brother.
There you go.
So all you people that know Polly and Calvin, yes, I'm their brother.
Got it. Now, are you the older, younger, middle? Or are you
middle.
Middle.
Between Polly and Calvin.
All right. So your roots in the county go way back.
My roots. My father moved here with his family when he was 17. My mother grew up in West Point Railroad. My mother went to elementary school with Jess Meckling from Railroad Flat and Tommy Taylor at the Railroad Flat School. My father was when he got here, he enrolled at Calaveras High School, and he immediately became the bus driver at 17.
So that was, there you go. That's a very efficient use of
bus. You know, now we just drive the bus up and down the road empty half the time.
So we should go back to having the students actually drive the bus, right?
Well, it probably wouldn't be legal.
Probably wouldn't work now.
They probably had him do it because there was nobody else to do it. And
but I don't think, in some ways, that's kind of the nice thing about a heritage of a small county, is that necessity is the mother of invention in a lot of ways. You know, we're going through a bit of an economic rough patch. It's time for us all to just kind of roll up our sleeves and get rolling. You know, it's just...
And that's another area that government leadership can show leadership by leading with a good example. You know, honesty, common sense, you know, not spending more money than is reasonable. I see some areas that we spend money like the big counties where, and we're not a big county. We don't have a huge tax base. So I think some areas like that need to be seriously looked at.
All right. We've probably taken up enough of your time here, but I'll let you get back to doing
something. Machining? All right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good luck in the race.
Now,
how many weeks? Let me see. We're taping this.
4 weeks from tomorrow.
4 weeks from tomorrow. Now, in your race, it's all over in June, isn't it?
It's all over on June 3rd.
So
8 o'clock the polls close, I believe.
there you go. So it's
8
that. So so for your district, it's not going to go on until November. We're
No.
going to know.
We're going to know probably before midnight, I think.
Very nice. Oh yeah, they're pretty efficient down there. That's
Yeah.
one department that's
They
a
are
well run.
efficient.
That's a well run, efficient department. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.